Hey friends, welcome back to the Gentleman's Journey. Guys, we got a special one for you today. We're over in Stillwater, Oklahoma with Myers Custom Boots. It's my new friend Bobby. Thanks so much for having us, man.
Absolutely.
And this is Stillwater Boot Repair. We're gonna get into custom boot making. We're gonna get into what you see in a repair shop. We're gonna see what kind of boots are coming through in Oklahoma. And first, we're gonna start off talking about some of these boots behind us. So we're surrounded by what? Lucchese's, Tony Lama's, Dan Post, but we're also surrounded by some custom Myers boots. Let's talk about some of your boots. So you've became a custom cowboy boot maker and you're wearing some service style boots.
This was my fourth pair of boots I ever made.
Okay. Jeez, man.
Yeah.
You came out of the saddle running, I guess.
So Randy Moe, the one that I've told you about that taught me how to build custom boots. This was the first pair that I made after I got with Randy Moe.
Oh, I see.
And my wife had picked this pattern that's what she wanted her boots to be. And she picked the colors and everything. So this is fourth pair, and they turned out good. I actually took them to Wichita Falls, and they have a contest down there, a boot making contest, and put them in. And I won.
Come on, dude, that's amazing. What kind of leather are you using on those boots?
So this up on the tops is goat.
Oh, okay.
It's just multicolors of goat, and then this is just an aniline leather. It's nothing fancy. Super hard to find colors like this.
Gotcha.
I searched high and low to find the color that she wanted.
Yeah.
And I tried to find a better leather, but this was the only thing I could find that would work. And so I've made them.
Pull tabs there. That's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Colored, you don't see colored as much.
Yeah. So that's cool. She didn't want them to show up too much. Generally, they'll stick up quite a ways. Right.
Are these boots here for sale, or are they on display?
These are all display. I can make something similar to any of them, as far as that goes. That is number 9.
The black gold.
Yeah. So this is extremely oil-filled area around here, and I hadn't built anything kind of representing that. And
gotcha.
You know, with Oklahoma, and I just decided, man, I live in Cushing. This is Stillwater. I live in Cushing.
Okay.
From my back door, all I see is just oil
rigs
everywhere.
going on.
Oh yeah. Yeah, big
so
oil
a little
tanks.
homage to them.
Yeah.
These guys up here are going to be yours as well, right?
Yep. Yeah, so these are all stitched. This is some of my top stitching.
Okay.
It's every bit of it is just stitched on a machine.
How many hours does a guy have into something like this?
Probably 140, 150, right around there.
So on the inners, kind of the guts of this boot, we're seeing a veg tan outer, stacked leather heel, the little rubber heel cap, Goodyear no less.
Yeah. So the insole is a veg tan leather. I use a heavy insole. That way it holds up really well. This is all bull hide. Okay. Yeah, and this is also goat up on the top of this. It's kid skin.
And then wood pegs there?
Yes. Yep. Okay. It's all wood pegged. The only nails are nailing the heel cap on, and then I use nails to hold the heel base on.
So we're surrounded by some pretty cool boots, and we've already been talking about them. Don't forget, guys, we're going to be going through some of his processes, what we see coming through the shop, but there's some pretty neat boots here that I want to share with you guys. We started with the best, and then we'll work our way down, but let me grab a couple because you were telling me some stories here. Sure. As a cobbler and a boot maker, you start collecting really cool things. So just some fishing wader boots, which I thought were fun. We live in Colorado, we go out to Wyoming and Montana and stuff like that. So I get a kick out of this kind of stuff, but tell us about these boots.
Yeah, so these are some old button boots. That was made by Florsheim. They are from late 1800s, early 1900s. They came from a Florsheim store in Missouri.
Okay.
So, in fact, I've still got the button hooks that came with them, but they said that a guy had walked in wearing these, an old man.
Come on.
And he walked in and he said, "Hey, I want a new pair of boots, shoes or boots, whichever it was." And they're like, "Okay." He said, "Well, I'd like to trade my shoes that I'm wearing right now for a new pair." So they're like, "Well, what are you wearing, you know?" And so they showed him, like, "Okay, yeah, we'll do that. That's cool," because it's just not anything you ever see.
No,
I don't remember ever seeing a pair other than like in a museum.
Yeah, that would be the only place I've seen them. I haven't been blessed enough to see those, so yeah, we appreciate that. You know, I mentioned some of the names that we saw. I just did again, this is huge cowboy area. I'm seeing a name I don't even know, Nakona. I saw a lot of Dan Post. I saw a lot of Ariat and stuff like that. Lucchese, you know, guys have always thought was the gold standard with the walking last and stuff like that.
Yeah.
What kind of boots would you recommend if they're getting into the cowboy realm? What kind of stuff would you stay away from?
So I would definitely suggest, if you don't mind spending a little bit of money, probably the closest you're going to get to a custom built boot as far as the way it's built.
Yeah.
You know, heavy duty is going to hold up. You can resole it multiple times as long as you take care of it. Would be Rios of Mercedes.
Okay.
Olathe is really good. They're actually made by the same company.
Interesting.
They've got an actual leather heel counter that's inside, you know, that's underneath there that has a lot of structure to it. The heel blocks are actually stacked leather on both of them.
Right.
The difference, one of the main differences I see on those is on the Rios of Mercedes, they use wood pegs to, you know, for the waist area.
Gotcha.
Olathe doesn't use anything. They have a 3/4 welt stitch that goes all the way around from heel block to heel block.
Right.
Which is fine, but it does make that a lot wider through there. So if you're going to be riding, it makes, you know, it's a little wider in the stirrup. And then if you want to spend more money, Lucchese's, you know, you get into the Lucchese classics, and the handmade. Those are good. They're really good off-the-shelf boots.
So you're seeing all the brands coming through. What are, you know, mostly you're doing heel replaces, soles, not too much probably in the uppers or anything like that. What kind of repairs are you getting?
I don't do a whole lot in the uppers, but yeah, it's mainly half soles, full soles, replace the heel caps. If you've worn your heel bases down, I can build those back up. If they're too bad, I can replace the heel blocks. You can't change the height of a boot a whole lot. I have people that'll have a boot with the inch and a quarter heel on it, and come in and they want, you know, 1 3/4 heel put on it, but it throws the boot completely off. It was never made to have that tall of a heel on it because just the last that it was built on it.
I'd love to get in there and talk a little bit about, you know, some of your processes and a little bit more about what you see here in the shop.
Okay, sounds good.
Cool, let's do that.
Mostly cowboy boots. I do have some, you know, I do some shoe work, some dress shoes, some women's heels and stuff, but 95% of what I do is cowboy boots.
I saw a big old Red Wing sign in the back, so it looks like you do some,
I do. Yeah.
Iron Rangers and stuff like that come through the shop.
Yeah, I do Iron Rangers, Thorogood. Few whites. I don't do a lot of theirs because they're so thick I can't hardly stitch the soles on them.
Yeah, and that's a stitch down method, and then a lot of the cowboy boots are still going to be Goodyear, and then there's Blake stitching and the Storm. What kind of welts are you seeing come through most often?
Mainly Goodyear welted stuff. I don't really do much of the Blake stitch. I don't even have a Blake stitcher because it's not anything I hardly see at all here, to be honest with you. I do see some Storm welted stuff, but mainly Goodyear welted. That's what I stick with. So.
And are folks dropping their boots off to get like a tune-up polished and, condition often, or do they take care of that themselves out here?
No, I get a lot of that. A lot of conditioning and polished and everything.
I just got a pair of Chisos about a year back, and it was a leather sole, and like they recommend if you need that extra grip or extra durability, drop by your local cobbler and have them put a rubber sole on there. Do you see much of that? Guys bringing in a new pair that...
I see more just going back with leather soles here because they're either riding horses, so they don't want to get hung up in the stirrup with the rubber. Or they're, like I said, they're going dancing, so they also want to stick with the leather sole, so they'll be able to slide.
Nothing like that. Heck yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
I do see a little bit of the protective sole, add protective soles.
So I'm seeing, a lot of equipment here. You want to tell us a little bit about kind of the extent of your work and what maybe some of the machines are that you have?
Absolutely. My finisher, so I've got, all these sanding wheels, this for sanding like your heel blocks.
Right, once you get the heel on.
Yeah, take it down to, this is 24 grit, so it's what you start out with.
Yeah.
And then you'll hit over here, this is 100 grit, and get it a little closer. And then we've got a nom keg to finish sanding everything.
Okay.
We've got buffing wheels.
This is the moneymaker right there.
That's the moneymaker.
Yep.
So that's the sole stitcher. And I can stitch different colors on on the welt, so I can either do anything white, brown, orange, gold, blue. I mean, I can do pretty much whatever color you want. But yeah, I've got different pieces for this. This one is for the back stitch on a double stitch welt, and then the one that's on there right now is for the outer stitch. Just run them through and stitch the soles with.
All of this that you got going on, it made me think about, how long have you been in this? Did you learn off someone, or how'd you really get into it?
I ended up finding Randy Moe, and so he's down in Beggs, Oklahoma.
Okay.
And so I took him the pair of boots that I'd made and stuff, and had him look at them, and he's like, he looked at him for a while, and he ended up telling me that he would teach me. He'd teach me how to make boots.
Here we have a set of your boots, and you ran with the Dr. Soles. And what kind of leather did you start out with on these guys?
These are just an oil tanned leather. These were kind of a prototype boot, more of a display boot, so I didn't go crazy on the leather.
Right.
I'm working on making more. Also going to mention Blascava, I believe.
Okay.
He taught me how to build this kind of boot.
Gotcha. So the other gentleman's cowboy boots.
Cowboy boots,
Yep.
Yes.
This is the service style.
Yes.
Kind of Iron Ranger look.
Yeah. It's all storm welted. It's full leather insoles.
Gotcha.
Everything is...
a bit of arch in there.
Yeah.
Do you put any kind of shank in there?
Yep.
Okay.
I use a steel shank.
Steel shank. Yep. A lot of guys are mad at Thorogoods because with the storm, they do a piece of plastic there.
Oh, yeah.
And apparently the stitches will eventually crack it and it'll deteriorate, and then we send it to a guy like you to put a leather one back in there. But
yes,
I think you mentioned you've seen some Thorogoods come through the shop from time to time. So.
Yes, and that's a very common issue, is that the broken welt.
Broken welt.
Yeah.
Gotcha. So. And so is this a skived toe cap, or is it a double?
This one is a skived one.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. I think like a work boot, why not have a double?
Right.
But a dress boot, I have some Nick's Urban Loggers that are just overbuilt. It's a 6-inch, and I love it, but it's also a love-hate thing. I think it needs to be an 8-inch boot, just because it's too much boot to be a 6-inch in my estimation.
And it's pretty water resistant, but even on these, I didn't do billows, which is I did just a separate tongue.
Okay.
I could have done billows, but it also,
I'm feeling that.
This you just put it on and it's comfortable right off. You don't have the wrinkles from the billows. I do like billows on a heavy duty work boot that you're going to be getting water, and it keeps dirt and stuff out.
All my loggers, my wildland firefighter boots, all that, you expect the gusset and all that to keep all the debris out. But I have a pair of 8-inch Thursday boots that aren't gusseted, and that's the biggest complaint about that.
Right.
Because it's kind of a winter boot, and so guys are just like, what does that do for me if it's not? But yeah, something like this, that's not the purpose of this boot.
Well, as far like the insoles, they are a fully stitched through the leather insole.
Okay.
So it stitches all the way through the storm welt into the insole. You know, I don't have the cotton gimming or jimming, whichever you want to call it, that goes around. It's all through the insole.
Right.
And I use heavy duty insoles. That's one place where I don't.
Is that like a veg tan?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
veg tan insole.
Right. So I want that to last and be able to repair it over and over and over.
Yeah.
But the tops, I just wanted to keep the weight down on them.
Yeah.
And like the ones I'm wearing here, I didn't even do a midsole on them. That way they flex right off.
Right.
These I just wanted stand out a little bit more with the midsole and a little bit more heel on them.
And there's some bit of stiffener in there on the toe and the heel counter there.
Yes.
What kind of stiffener are you putting in there?
This is a veg tan stiffener that's in here.
On your boots, did you go with the vintage brass?
I did.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you got more of the polished brass here.
Yeah, just kind of trying something different. I mean, you don't want them all to look the same.
Exactly right.
And the ones that I have on display always fit me, so I'm like, well, I don't want them to look exactly alike, at least. And that's why I went with the different soles. I always have a hard time deciding which sole I want to go with.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got all the different Dr. soles and Vibram and, you know, all the different ones.
Yeah,
so
you could put a leather on there. I mean, I get that too as I'm building my collection out. It's like, what do I do next? So it's kind of fun. I have a lot of fun with it.
Oh, yeah.
Of course, these are kind of like a flat nylon lace. You could
These are vintage. They're probably 60
with.
years old.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Okay.
And they were close to the green. I'll probably end up changing them out, but I had them. I bought out another shoe shop.
Oh, okay.
And it came with a ton of vintage laces. So I'm like, I got to put some in there at least for a while. You know, for the heck of it. But they got a little bit of fading, but I thought it was kind of cool.
No, anyway, people will dig that for sure. Well, we'll make sure and drop a link for y'all to follow him on Instagram and Facebook and all that, and see if we can't get some more orders coming your way. I would love to see you guys out wearing these. One of these days you and I are gonna have to get me fit so I can get a pair from you, because these things are really awesome, man.
Well, I appreciate it. Thank you.
Well, I end every video by saying don't forget to give your boots some love from time to time, and as a cobbler, you know, that's your line of work. So we're sitting here looking at some of the different conditioners. You guys can check back the channel. I've done Hubert's, I've done Saphir products. I haven't done this one, Meltonian. So what kind of stuff are you using in your daily work? Someone brings some boots in, and what stuff do you recommend for these guys?
So as far as polishes, you know, like you said, I've got Saphir. I really like Meltonian. As far as cost-wise, this is a really good product for the cost. I mean, it's substantially cheaper than the Saphir. Saphir's the best. I mean, it is really good, but this is a great lower cost option. Bic 4.
Yeah, we use a lot of that on the channel.
Yeah, Bic 4 is great. I mean, you can use it on pretty much anything but suede. And, you know, it doesn't darken leather, so I use this all the time.
You'd use that on your custom boots?
I do, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
Shoot,
I mean, I'll use it on
that. Says a lot, guys.
I'll use it on any of it. Like, it's great.
And I stand by these guys. I actually like working with the paste. Like, wax, if I need to polish up a boot, obviously you're going for wax, so if you want a really hard layer. But in terms of if I'm going to use it and actually do it often, for some reason I like the feel of like a pasty. I
get that. The main reason why I love Black Rock, especially if you got something that's really dried out leather, if you take an old saddle or an old pair of boots that's really super dry, put some Black Rock on it, put it out in the sun, let it soak in, and it will condition most stuff right back. I mean, it's really good. It will darken leather for sure, so if you're concerned about, I wouldn't use this on ostrich or something like that, because it's not going to look good afterwards.
Gotcha.
And that's where the Bic 4 comes in, because it's good for that. If you're going to waterproof, Hubbard shoe grease is great. Their shoe oil is great. Love the smell of it. It's got a smoke. It smells like a campfire. Snow Seal's really good. I like the Hubbards probably better because of the smell, but that's just personal opinion.
And that's a brush, man. It fits my hands. I get some of these traveling brushes that are tiny, but you got to have a good brush.
Yeah, that's good brushes for sure.
Yeah. Well, I sure appreciate you again. And guys, we're going to have all his socials in the description, so make sure and check that out. You know, see if you can't come down to Stillwater and get fitted for a special boot. Just thank you so much for having us.
Yeah, glad you came. It's been great.
Till the next video, God bless. And don't forget to give your boots some love from time to time. If you like this one, we got a bunch of content just like this. Check out the channel. We have everything in playlists, anything from more men's boots to menswear. Check back often. We got a bunch of great stuff coming up on the channel. Till the next one, God bless, and we'll catch you then.